Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Pages to Pixels podcast. I'm Kirtana. I have Kevin and Rohan here with me, and today we are going to go down our top 10 movies for 2025. I think it was an interesting year for films. I also moved countries, so I noticed that I noticed that in comparison to last year, the divide between how many like Hollywood films I watched and how many Indian films I watched, like the difference is visible. How was the year for you guys?
I only watched about 40 movies this year, from 2025. In
Mm-hmm.
total, I watched one movie per day. Um, but I kind of cheated because at the end of the year, I watched like a bunch of short films from one director. So I kind of you know, cheated that a little bit, but still, I was able to get to the one movie per day technically.
Mm-hmm.
And 40 of those were from this year, and I would say on the whole, it was a pretty good year for movies. And there's still a lot more that I would like to see that I didn't get to.
You said 40 movies, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I see your letterbox. Do you update it like all the time? How about you, Rohan?
All right. First of all, I just want to say that doing this top 10 list, it's not something that I have been doing, but I had so much fun with it last year, and I had so much fun in the recording.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so happy that we're able to do it again. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why. This is like my most like anticipated episode uh, that we've ever done. Not ever,
Yeah.
but at least for I know
Yeah.
it's not 2025 anymore, but
Yeah.
out of all the 2025 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know exactly how many movies uh, that I watched,
Mm-hmm.
but I know I saw quite a few. I saw quite a few from this year also,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I'm just looking forward to talk about them.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. This so 2025 was the first year I started doing Letterboxd. Um, Kevin was highly recommending it. Um,
hmm
I'm glad I did. It was a lot easier for me this year to go back and see what I thought of each film that I watched. Like it helps to have everything in one place. So thanks for the recommendation, Kevin.
You're welcome. Wait, let me give you a little quiz before we start. Do you know who David Elrich is?
I don't.
Then you're not a letterbox user. Get out of here.
Is it like a letterboxed influencer?
He's like a reviewer, yeah. He does
He's-
his own like top 10 and stuff. I don't
Hmm.
really constantly consistently agree with him on most things though, so he's just always at the top of the popular
He
reviews.
is, yeah. He's actually like a professional critic because he writes for IndieWire also. So
hmm
he's not like just a letterbox guy, but yeah, and there's quite a few of them out there. But it's funny how um, he's just always at the top for every movie.
Actually, I was flying from Chennai to Hyderabad a few days ago, and I met like one of like South India's biggest like film review people like on the flight. Like somebody from the crowd recognized him, and within seconds, like I'm not exaggerating, like a crowd just formed around him, and he got like swarmed, and people wanted pictures and everything. And I just didn't realize that like there was that much like general popularity for like film critics. It was nice to see.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but they do feel like they're bigger in India still. Like they're still on like TV and all that. And I know that you get them here also, but I feel like it's very rare.
I mean, I would say that the film industry is put on a very high pedestal here in comparison to in Hollywood. It's like the just generally like people enjoy like films more. They put them on, like they enjoy the world of it more. They indulge more. So
I would agree.
yeah. All right. With that being said, shall we start with our top 10?
Yeah, let's
Sure.
do it.
All right. Kevin, do you want to go first?
Yep.
You were just like in
Uh
like if we go
I
clockwise,
was the most jovial, I'm the most excited.
oh sure, yeah.
All right, sure. So, the way that we're gonna do this time is we're gonna start with our first 10 through 6,
Hmm.
and also give some honorable mentions. Um, but for the most part, we're gonna try to keep it like brief, but also talk about the movies as much as we can. That's a balance that only someone as amazing as me could ever pull off. So thank you. Um, all right, so the honorable mentions for me, I've got five, so I'll name them quick.
Mm-hmm.
Final Destination Bloodlines, Good Boy. There's this movie called Ten Dance on Netflix. Check it out. The Perfect Neighbor, and K-pop Demon Hunters. They all missed my list. So,
I'm mad about that. K-pop Demon
I know,
Hunters
like the
missed
minute
the
you said
snub,
it,
but
I was like, Rohan's gonna have a problem with that.
at
maybe
least he
that
watched
song
it.
between maybe that song between Rumi and that guy should have like, mattered more. Maybe then the movie would be at the top.
What's Carlos's favorite song?
Carlos is wrong again. um all right. But yeah, let's get into it. My number 10 is a movie that I just watched. It's called The Ugly Stepsister. It is a horror movie that takes place in like a fairy tale land. Kirtana, I think you would like this up until the point where there's horror elements, so
Hmm.
then you would stop liking it.
So like five
Um,
minutes into the film, then.
Not really. It's more of like a it definitely it is less about the magic and more about the Cinderella story, but from the quote unquote ugly stepsister's perspective.
Ah, okay.
Um, it's it's very creepy and gross, but I would say it borders more on gross. Like this movie is meant to make your stomach churn. Um, and I think it represents what a lot of like gothic fairy tales used to be like. And I
Hmm.
don't see enough films adapt that. But I think we're gonna start seeing it more with public domain properties coming out of the woodwork. I think there's like a horror Pinocchio that's out, but this is a lot more um, crafty than that. This movie's even on the short list for the Oscars for
Oh.
I think it was like costume design or makeup, and it
Hmm.
definitely deserves it.
So that song, I haven't seen it, but really quickly, two questions. Is you say it's gory? Is it more or less gory than the substance?
It's less.
Okay. Second question. It's like this public IP. Is it better than Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Yes, that is the worst movie I watched this year, I think. And this year, this movie's like leagues better. So yeah. All right. At number nine, at 1:56 a.m., a bunch of children ran out. I don't remember if that was the time, but they ran out into the street and they
I think
said,
it might be.
"Kevin, Kevin, Weapons is a great movie," and it's my number nine pick for that reason. Um, I really love everything that went into it. It's super original, super funny. Amy Madigan deserves the supporting actress Oscar nomination. Hopefully she gets it. Um, I it's better than Barbarian, in my opinion. It was one of
I
the
agree.
coolest film experiences I had this year, and it's only number nine. So yeah.
Yeah, I did see Weapons, and I agree. I thought it was awesome. It is on my list. I'm not going to say where, but it is on my list. Um, yeah, that was also one of my favorite movies of the year. It was just such a kind of unlike any other horror movie I've ever seen.
Hmm. It's truly one of a kind. Also, it's 2:17 a.m. If I just checked my letterbox, I could have seen that
Okay.
that was the time. But yeah, moving on. My number eight favorite movie of the year was Wake Up Dead Man by Ryan Johnson. I don't remember if Glass Onion cracked my top 10 the year that it came out. That said, I really love Wake Up Dead Man. I love mystery movies, and I love the way that I love the direction they chose for this one. It really felt like the environment that they were in was a huge character, and it guided a lot of how these supporting characters feel and act and do. It is a little bit predictable, but I still think that the whole experience that I had watching the movie was great and better than most of the stuff that I saw this year.
Yeah. Kirtan, I know you saw Wake Up Dead Man. Any like?
Fine. It's not even on my honorable mentions list. So, um, yep.
Yeah,
It's
that is a hot take.
no,
But it's
I
okay.
know.
I cannot
So
flame you for any. Sorry, I
no, go
was
ahead.
gonna say I cannot flame you for any hot takes today because I will have one or two later, as you will
Hmm.
see.
So
But
the
yeah,
thing
that is a
is,
hot take.
it is because so when like last year, well, like 2 weeks ago, as the year was ending, I just texted a bunch of people saying, "Hey, give me like your top 10 or like top five of the year, just to see what my friends were thinking." And Wake Up Dead Man was in like quite a few of the lists. Um, it was yeah, so it was definitely a popular one this year. I just was it was fine.
I mean, to each their own. I've seen the same takes, but I've seen it also for all three of the movies. In my opinion, I think the first one is kind of mid, but maybe I will revisit it and not feel that way. Because I do think that he gets better and better with every movie in terms of the mystery that he chooses to sell. Also, um, shout out to my friend Teo who works in the Strand bookstore and saw Ryan Johnson checking out the mystery section like a couple weeks ago. That's really funny to me. So,
He's getting doing
And so,
research for Knives Out 4.
yep, yep.
mhm.
Um,
Interesting.
you guys already kind of talked about it. It is on my list, and I'll talk more when it comes up. But yeah, I also am a big fan of this one. But Kevin, you saying the first Knives Out is mid
Yeah.
might be a bigger hot take
Hot take.
than
Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, because I thought that first movie was incredible.
I have my reasons, but I do think that the as a whole, Knives Out follows a particular like theme that they want to go with their with each movie, and that one it's kind of like being hit on the head with a hammer with a theme every 5 seconds, and the other two films I feel like they did a better job of balancing the humor and um the themes well, whereas the
I
first
feel
one I
like
think was too heavy-handed in uh in that, right? But yeah.
I feel like I vaguely remember. I don't even remember who it is. It was one of our professors who told us that. Like one of our like instructors at NIFA who told us it's either a screenwriter or a director. Somebody said that if each scene you write in the film, if it doesn't somehow push theme forward, you should get rid of that scene from your film. Remember, like my memory is really
Hmm.
weak. This was way back in like 2021 that I heard it. Um, but interesting that you said it felt heavy-handed because they kept bringing it up.
It's not even like I don't want to get too much into it, but
Right.
still, I one day we will cover Knives Out in a very particular way where we dissect the elements of a mystery. Wink,
Yeah.
wink, nudge, nudge.
Right. All right.
Okay,
Um,
my number seven. What was the name of like our we've had someone on the podcast. Her name was China, right? So I was thinking that we should bring her back for another episode. Sorry, this is the worst way to say bring her back is my number seven. I was just trying to figure out how can I
okay.
say a pun. Um, but
So yeah,
no,
I
so
thought you were gonna say Sinners
yeah, that's what
because
I
I
thought
believe
too.
she was on our episode.
Yeah.
no, no, no. But no, Bring Her Back is a great horror film. I also think that it was a little bit underseen. It got overshadowed a lot by weapons, but I think that um, Bring Her Back did a little bit of a better job of like um, I would say it was more focused. Maybe not better, but I think it was more focused with the family dynamic. It just really like touched me in a way that I think some horror films have failed to do. I also liked it more than Talk to Me. I thought it was more polished than their previous film. And while there's some things that I would have wished different, like on the film, I think overall it just was like so much fun and so freaky that I have to respect it. And that's why it lands here.
So yeah, I saw that movie, um, and it's not on my list, but I did really like it, and like you said, like just crazy and freaky. The knife scene with the watermelon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That one sticks in my head because I was getting dental
Yep.
surgery all year, and then I had to see that crap. That was just not fun.
Yeah. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Unless you happen to like go to the bathroom during that scene. But if you saw um, that scene will never leave you.
You guys are doing a great job of selling me this film.
I
You should
think
watch
you
it.
should probably watch it with like someone and making sure that you're okay. That's all.
What I have realized is when it comes to horror and gore, like, yeah, I don't like watching it, but like what makes it easier, I guess, to watch is if I just watch it when it comes like on online, like when it's on Netflix or whatever, because at least then I can skip through parts that I don't want to look at. In the
Hmm.
theater, it's just like you just have to sit and suffer. So
Yeah.
there are quite a few movies this year that I'm just waiting for them to come, like to get released on like the internet.
Yeah, there's a couple that I'm waiting on. I guess I can give a quick shout out to stuff that I didn't get to see that I wanted to. Like, It Was Just an Accident, Resurrection, Sirats. Those are like the top three movies I want to see after this, and hopefully I'm able to. But yeah, and I guess I'll just say what my number six is now. Um, it is Bugonia. Uh, I I love Bugonia. I know you guys have some weird issues with this movie, but I do think that this is a great film. Um, really comes at a perfect time, I think, to release it with all the freaking turmoil that's going on. And I just love that Lanthimos can put out something that, recently he had something super high budget with Poor Things. I feel like this movie, even though it was like, okay, it's definitely in like it was definitely a high budget movie, but the environments and everything was very like small scale. So I think that that budget went towards the right things, and it shows in the movie because it's beautiful to look at. I love the humor. The performances are just fantastic. I really have no major complaints with this other than it's not as good as the Save the Green Planet, um, which is I think a funnier, better movie, but this movie took so much from that and made it something special in its own.
Yeah, I did watch this movie. I thought it was great. It isn't one of my honorable mentions. It didn't quite make the list
Hmm.
because I'm still not
Oh,
a fan of the ending. Uh, but yeah,
that's
I think the movie's awesome.
Um, that's interesting because I'm going to point out that when I asked you, Rohan, earlier, like a couple of weeks back, what your top five movies were, I think you said Begonia. Um,
I might have, but
yeah.
then I think when I actually, because you just kind of asked me, and I just said, then
No,
when I
and I
like
know.
when I sat down and I thought of like all the movies, I was like, "Ah, I just can't quite get this on the list."
It's interesting because it's the same thing happened because I looked at my letterboxd and when I rate on letterboxd, it's like vibes. Like I'll rate it the minute I get out of the film and like what I'm feeling then is what I record. And then I went back and I was looking
Hmm.
at my list and I was like, there were some movies where in hindsight I was like, this movie was way better than the 3 stars that I gave it.
Let's hand it off to you, Kirtana.
All right.
How many
Um,
quick vibe ratings did you put in your top 10?
I will say that this time when I did my top 10, I would say that a couple of them are like vibe ratings because I feel like when I go back and like I sit and think about any film, you end up like being able to like pull out what worked for you. So it's kind of hard to break them down. So I have three honorable mentions. One of them is Frankenstein. We did an episode about it. I thought it was a really fun film. Fun film. I really enjoyed watching it. So that was one of my honorable mentions. The other one is this film called Bison. It's a Tamil film, and this is the biopic of a kabaddi player, but it is set against the backdrop of like this of like a small town in Tamil Nadu where there's a lot of like violence between multiple castes and communities. I thought it was a really, really well done film. You should check it out if you guys get the chance. And then my third honorable mention was Superman. If I look at it in terms of craft, I was not a big fan, but I thought when I go back and think about it, I really enjoyed watching the film. Like the experience of it was great. That's my third honorable mention. Top 10. In 10th place, I have this Telugu film called Shubham. It's a horror comedy. It's it didn't do very well. I'm going to put it out there. It didn't do very well at all, unfortunately. But the concept was really simple. Basically, there's this like a soap, like a TV soap that runs. It's set in this really small town in Andhra, and there's a very popular TV soap. And you know how like these TV soaps go on for like 5 years, 6 years,
Yeah.
whatever. Basically, in one of the episodes, the episode ends with a promo saying the last episode of this soap is going to be in this many days. And no matter where you are in the world, you should watch it because you're going to find out what happens to the storyline, right? And then what happens is a group of like old women who used to watch this soap religiously, some of whom have died, they come back and possess like members of their family to finish watching the soap. Like that's the humor of it. I thought it was hilarious. I'm just like frustrated that it didn't do better than it did. At nine,
So,
yeah.
so when you said soap at first, I literally pictured a bar of soap in
Oh,
my mind before you said TV after.
yeah.
And I was
So
like, is this
so
a
awkward.
movie about a haunted bar of soap?
I mean, that would be a different kind of horror comedy, I think.
Yep.
But yeah,
It re-
I just called Shubham. I think I'm not sure what it's on because it was a small movie, but it's a fun watch. And
it's
at
not
night,
quite exactly what you described, but that reminded me of there's this Filipino movie where it's like a female like director of the of like Filipino TV action series. She gets hit on the head with a TV and then she pictures herself in the show.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to recommend that because if you liked that, it sounds like you would probably like this too.
Cool. At nine, I have Naked Gun, like the new Naked Gun. I
I
watched it
didn't see
really
this one.
recently. Yeah, and so I'm aware of the reputation of the Naked Gun franchise, right? And when I saw the trailers, I was like, oh, cool, it's a spoof, it's fine. But when I watched it, it's been a really long time since I laughed that hard at something, you know. It was, it was just, I thought it was completely hilarious. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Um,
Yeah, I want to see it. I saw the trailers and I didn't think it looked very good, but then the reviews have been great. Like it's not just you, it's a lot of people who love this movie.
It was the same
So,
thing. Like when I saw the trailers too, I wasn't like dying to go watch it. And then like one day I just put it on and I really enjoyed it.
yeah.
I will check it out soon too. It looks at least amusing to me. I think it could be fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was great. At eight, I have this Kannada film called Kantara. It's a part of the franchise. There's a Kantara franchise essentially, and the first movie came out a couple of years ago. This is a prequel to that film. It's a period film. It's set in like a fictional version of a small kingdom in Karnataka, and there's like a lot of lore to it, most of which I won't go into. But basically, in certain parts of South India, especially, they have during certain festivals, the entire town will gather, and it's like a little fair of sorts, but there's like a religious angle to it. And in that, so each town will have its own like protective deity, and sometimes during the like the prayers and everything, that deity will possess one of the people that are offering prayers. Like this happens in real life. Like I don't know about the possession, but like the 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 ritual happens in real life. So this is kind of like an origin story take on that. I think is the best way I can explain it because there's a lot of like very very layered like cultural context to it. But if you do get a chance, I really really recommend it. It's called Kantara Chapter One. And if you look at the quality of what was put out and the budget, there is just like zero connection because it looks so good for the amount of money that they spent on it. I know that the movie did extremely well for its makers. So, Kantara Chapter One is my number eight.
Yeah, I have heard of this movie. I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. At number seven, I have this film called The Girlfriend. I think I told you guys about it too when I watched it. It's probably this year's, I would say, loudest feminist film that came out here in India. And it did great numbers. I was very happy with how it did. I also know that there was a lot of trouble for this film to come out. Like, it's a coming of age film. It's really fun. Telugu. You should check it
Is
out.
this the one with Rishmika?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard of it. Again, this is another movie that I've heard of. It's popped up in my Netflix a few times. I just haven't
Yeah.
seen it yet.
It's interesting because if you look at it, like I had read the draft like a while before the film came out. Like back in 2023, I'd read the draft. And when I read it, it was a very, very unconventional screenplay. When you watch the movie, you can't really tell, like, because it doesn't really follow structure, it doesn't really follow anything. It almost felt like a stream of consciousness when I read it, but when I watched it on screen, I thought it did a great job of like making you feel what the protagonist is feeling, as opposed to just you following the plot.
Oh,
It's
nice.
not a long movie in case you guys want to check it out. It's like I recommend it. And I was also really happy that the film made money because historically films like this have not fared well at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hopefully it
I just thought it
opens
was straight to Netflix
first.
because I hadn't heard of it before it popped on Netflix.
No, so basically this film was like it's been in the works for a long time. Like I said, I read it in 2023 and then they went and finished filming it. And I think it was finished and sitting waiting for a release for months together. And then at number six, I have this film called Tourist Family. It's a Tamil film and it's a really small film. It was one of this year's like breakout films here. Which so basically it's about a Sri Lankan Tamil refugee family that's moved to Tamil Nadu and is living there. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with the like scene in Sri Lanka, but basically the population is there's Sinhalese people who speak Sinhalese, and there's the Tamil population, and there's always been like infighting among the two groups, and some would argue there was like almost genocide against the Tamil people there. So in Tamil cinema, like a recurring theme you'll see is stories of Sri Lankan Tamilians. So this is one of those. This I would actually really recommend. I mean, obviously, I'm going to recommend every film that's on my top 10.
Yeah.
But this one was a very sweet take on everything that happens. Basically, this family moves into a neighborhood here in Tamil Nadu, and it's just about how they start a new life here. And I thought it was a very sweet take. The film, I think, was made on a very, very tiny budget, and it blew up. The director has signed multiple projects after that. So it's nice to see like small films do well. So yeah, Tourist Family is in at number six for me.
Sweet.
All
Yep.
right.
Your
I
turn,
guess
Joe.
it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right. Quick honorable mentions before I get into my top 10. Um, there is Mission Impossible. I love this franchise. This movie wasn't perfect, but yeah, I just love the franchise and love watching Tom Cruise do crazy stuff. Caught Stealing, uh, really small, this really fun thriller, crime, comedy, thriller, whatever you want to call it. Um, Next one is Mickey 17. I still think this movie is like the most underrated movie of the year. It's not as good as Parasite, but it's still a lot of fun. Superman is another one. Superman, I kind of agree with both of you. in which I don't think this movie looks the best, but it's just a great time. And Begonia, we kind of talked about this already, but yeah, honorable mention. And finally, Grand Theft Hamlet, which is just really quickly, it's William Shakespeare's Hamlet, but in Grand Theft Auto, like the video game.
Well, kind of. It's more about people
Yeah,
trying to put on a play of Hamlet in Grand Theft Auto.
yeah,
I think either way it sounds interesting.
I just watched this, and so it couldn't really make my list because I didn't have a lot of time. But it was a good movie. And as someone who puts on so many events for my friends, I mean, this really spoke. It really spoke to me. So I'm glad you enjoyed it.
yeah. All right. Also, real quick, I want to give a disclaimer with my list because when I'm talking about my list, I'm not talking best movies of 2025. I am saying my personal favorites. So there are some that, like, let's say if someone were to ask me, hey, I haven't seen any movies, which one should I watch? That list is very different than this list because, again, I got some hot takes. Um, but number 10 is going to be Homebound. Uh, this is this is a relatively new release, and I think this is the one that India chose as its um, Oscar, and it's on the shortlist. I don't think it'll squeeze in the top five, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, this is a movie about um, it's about two men, one Muslim
Um,
and another character from a marginalized cast, and it's they're both migrant workers, and when COVID hits, they have to figure out a way to get home because everything was kind of shut down. Um, yeah, this is just an awesome movie. Same director as Masan, and I I really hope it gets that nomination. It's I think one of the best movies of the year.
I haven't watched it, but it's on one of those movies that like I wanted to watch that I didn't get around to. It's got like tons of positive word of mouth. Um, and like I'm aware of what the plot line is and all of that. I really do hope it gets the recognition.
Yeah, it's very yeah, it's very it's great. It's tragic, also a little bit heartwarming.
I saw an epic Twitter fan cam of the movie, and it sold me on it. So I will see it one day.
Great. So next up, Kevin, this was on your list. Wake Up Dead Man. Um,
Go ahead.
yeah, so it's my number nine, and I, if I am comparing it to Knives Out and uh, Glass Onion, I do think it's my least favorite, but that's not really an insult because I think this trilogy so far has just been awesome movie after awesome movie, and this one was really interesting because it's the one with the least amount of Daniel Craig in it, and you could, I would argue that he's not the protagonist in any of the movies, but I think you can argue in the first two, I guess you can make the argument that he is. In this one, it's very much not him, and um, it's just about the characters, and it's also super funny, even if it's predictable. It's still interesting, and it's still got great characters, and it's still super entertaining.
I love a priest that like punches people. It's so good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it too, because it's got so much. You could really feel where I think I'm not gonna totally credit Ryan Johnson. I'm sure there were other writers, but it really felt like a more personal story than the other two Knives Out films have felt, in my
I
opinion.
agree.
No, the themes were definitely super strong. Yeah, for me, it was just, I think I told you, it lost me like towards the very end when the actual, like, the what happened of it all comes out. I was a little
Yeah,
underwhelmed. Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah. I guess they don't do anything crazy, but there's also an element of there is a there's a silliness to these movies, and then I feel like the movie almost embraces the let's just do what happened.
Yeah,
I
why is
thought she just whipped out like a big bottle of vodka.
it's
And
water, Kevin. It's water. It
no,
is
I saw it
10
was
a.m.
water, but at first it was like, and I was like,
Yeah.
why is the biggest vodka bottle coming out right now?
And this is ginger ale, despite my background, this is only ginger ale.
I mean, it's
This is an unknown substance. You have
yeah.
no idea
Yeah,
what
that
is
could
in
be.
this.
No,
Is it
Could
it's
the
be anything.
substance?
Could
I'm
be.
just to clarify, it's 10 a.m. in the morning. And like while I don't have anything against like vodka in general, I'm not drinking vodka at 10 a.m., Kevin. Just putting it out there.
Okay, don't worry. I got you. Don't worry. Rohan, I guess, back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can just move on to my number eight. No other choice. This is I'm sure you have it on your list as well, but yeah, this movie is I won't talk about it too much here, but it's Park Chan Wook. I believe I said his name right,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this movie about a man who's fired from his job, and he's trying to support his own life and his family, but he can't get hired, and he makes some very questionable decisions, but he has no other choice. Very interesting and very relevant movie.
It's a great
Uh,
film. It's on my list, so I will say less.
Number seven. This is one of my hot takes. This is a movie that a lot of people really did not like. The reviews were very mixed, both from fans and critics. For me, I don't know, something about this movie. I just loved it. I think it was just there's not very many movies where I had a better experience than this one, even though it is flawed, and that's Running Man. Um,
Hmm.
a
I
lot
knew
of
you were
people were
gonna say
disappointed with
that.
this movie. Yeah, a lot of people were disappointed with this movie. I loved it. Uh, yeah.
It's uh listen, I love Edgar Wright. I will show up any day, but it for me, I want to like everything that it was going for, but it's just super. I don't know. Not to rain on your pick, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Because I hyped it. I hyped up this movie more than any one of us three, and I came away not
Oh
liking
yeah.
it. And I don't know. I just wish, like, I don't know. I think the main character motivation is really boring. I think that I think that the world is not as well explored, in my opinion. It doesn't really do a great job of like engaging me, and I thought that the action sequences are there's like better action sequences in all of the other Edgar Wright movies, which I know it's like unfair because it's like comparing apples to oranges a little bit, but like I'm thinking of the driving sequence in Baby Driver and the driving sequences. There's like multiple in Running Man, and they're like night and day. I can't. I feel like the Running Man could have been made by anyone. And when I watch an Edgar Wright movie, Edgar Wright, if you're listening to this, I want you to make an Edgar Wright movie again, please. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I wish I liked him more, but I still think it's a good movie. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I just thought it was super, super fun. And at the same time, it was also super, super relevant. So that elevated it for me. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, I mean, I I agree. It's not like the best action Edgar Wright has done, but I thought it was pretty good. I feel like it was definitely better than most other action, than the
We're,
average action movie.
we're gonna see Mr. Beast on TV making people play the giant wheel hamster wheel game or whatever. I
I
forget
know.
what they were doing, but yeah. Kirtana,
Um,
did you see this?
I did not, but I did watch Beast Games this year. Uh, and I didn't like it feels so dystopian. Because it's kind of like crazy what they did in that whole thing. That was just because there was this one challenge where like they just randomly. Did you guys watch Beast Games?
Hell no.
I did not.
Yeah, I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but this was crazy. Basically, they divided this massive group of people into four teams, and they pulled out like one person from each team, and then they were like, if you like, here's like $5 million or like $1 million. If you choose to take this $1 million, everybody on your team is eliminated. And I'm just like, what the hell kind of a position is that to put somebody in? Like, it makes for great TV, but I was just like, what the fuck? It's like a mob of like 100 odd people and $1 million. It was just, yeah, it felt really dystopian to watch that show.
Okay, since you've seen that, you definitely should watch Running Man.
Okay,
I would
I will.
love to see your take on it after having watched Beast Games.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It makes me sad you're choosing Beast Games over Survivor, which has more production value and drama and is less like dystopian.
Listen, I watched it because I was having breakfast at Alexander's house and they just put it on. But um no, it's I think I will watch Running Man. I've heard a lot of conversation about it. And if I'm being honest, I've heard both takes. Like I've seen people love it and I've seen people hate it. So
Okay, well, I'm glad I've seen someone else. I'm glad you're hearing someone else love it because I've been the only one.
I'll check it out.
All right, are you guys ready for my second major hot take? This is
Yeah.
probably my biggest hot take.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a reminder though. If someone asks me, I haven't seen a single movie, which one should I watch of 2025? This is the first one I would tell them.
Oh,
But again, I'm just going by my own personal experience. And that is Sinners.
huh.
And what
Yeah,
number is this
Why
again?
is
6 or
6.
okay.
interesting. Why is this a hot? Oh, I see why. Okay.
Yeah, because everyone has this in like their top 3.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. Yep.
so again, I do think if you ask me what is probably the best movie of the year, I would say Sinners.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just watch it, and it's just so obvious why. I think the cinematography is amazing. The acting is amazing. I actually really, I mean, I hope Michael B. Jordan gets a nomination. I would, if I'm a voter, I'm probably
Yeah.
voting him second after Timothy Chalamet, but above
Yeah.
DiCaprio. Uh, and it's this movie about the American South and vampires, but also music and culture. And
Yeah.
it has maybe the best scene of all the
Yeah.
movies with the musical number.
Yeah.
And that's before the vampires even show up.
Yeah. It's on my list. Um, I'll say more when we get to it, but I did want to say, you know how you said, oh, it's a hot take because it's so low on my list? Um, couple of my cousins went and watched it, and they watched it in like IMAX at Universal City Walk, and they came out and they were like, it was fine. Like we thought it was an interesting choice to put vampires in this world, and I was just like, what are you talking about? Because I spent weeks like begging them to go watch it, and then I just like I don't know how this film was lost on them. So I mean, yeah, it's a hot take putting it at number 6, but I'm telling you, there's people who didn't like that movie. So that's just,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I feel like within the film community and just
yeah.
like
No,
critics
but yeah,
and
I see
all
what you
the
mean.
awards, it's definitely up there. Other
Yeah,
than maybe is it Variety again who left out of their top 20? Uh,
They're trying to do engagement bait. Don't fall for it. Variety is full of nonsense, and we all know this.
yep.
Except for when they talk about how good my movie's gonna be. Then they're actually like really smart.
I think that could also be a form of rage bait at some point.
Yes. Well,
It's
no, they're definitely leaving off like one of the most popular movies to make people mad.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So
All
it's
right.
back to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. My number five is Sinners. So I was like, I don't really know how to segue this other than just wait my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this is a great movie. I Lied to You musical sequence, in my opinion, is the best scene of the year, and that's what really brings this whole movie up. It's just fantastic. I think it's also my favorite horror film. So spoiler alert: there's no more horror from here on out. But I couldn't pick another film to be the top horror spot. I mean, it's very original, but also just such an intricate story. I actually took um, a literature class at UNCG, and there were lots of elements of this story that I found in like some of the books that I had read that were on, you know, the South during this time and what it was like for African Americans, and it was really like period accurate. But with vampires, and it's just so much fun. Um, yeah, it's going to be something that people are going to think about forever. When you're
Yeah.
not living in the Twitter echo chamber that tries to tell you everything that you like is bad, it'll all be okay. Sinners will last the test of time.
Sinners is it's so
Hmm.
interesting because of like I think like a couple of weeks before the film, like they before they released like tickets for the film, I think Ryan Coogler went and he talked about like which theaters to watch it in if you're in like different parts of the US. And multiple friends of mine who were not even in the US at the time sent me that list and they were like, hey, like make sure you get your tickets because this stuff is going to sell out. And I didn't. And then when the film finally opened, I couldn't, like, I saw that, like, for those screens, tickets were booked out for days.
Hmm.
So it's really cool that it made like that many waves across the place, right? Um, I will say, I know you guys talked about the musical sequence, and I loved it too. But I think like two scenes stood out to me. I'll tell you one now, and then the other when it comes up on my list. I think one of my favorite scenes of the film was when he was rolling the cigarette at the end. Like he's just
Hmm.
sitting there and he's shaking. And when you said, I hope he gets a nomination, I feel like I hope he gets a nomination for that scene specifically. Because like it was like I still remember how I felt when I watched it. And it was just absolutely incredible.
Hmm.
Which twin do you think he should get the nomination for?
Oh,
Okay. At number four, I have One Battle After Another.
I also have that. It's higher up on my list, but go on.
Earlier last year, I was living in Humboldt County, California, where they actually filmed one of the scenes and a couple of others.
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo DiCaprio was down there literally a month before I showed up. I am so mad.
Mm-hmm.
I could have been in a PTA film, Kirtana. I could have been there. I could have done it. I could have talked to you might have to censor this.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna say it actually. I could have talked to Beverly Perfidia Hills, okay? I'm so mad, but it's okay.
Yeah.
This movie's awesome. It's heartfelt. It's action filled. Sean Penn's hilarious, even though he's
Yeah.
and
Um,
yeah, just some of the best performances of the year. What did you think?
I loved it. It's higher up on my list, so you know I really like the film as well. I thought Sean Penn was terrifying.
Hmm.
In the sense that I think his was a very realistic portrayal of some people who really exist. And it was the movie worked really, really well for me. I absolutely loved it. I thought each performance was incredible. Um, yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like I keep thinking about it. I thought DiCaprio was fine. I guess that's my hot take.
He's
I know everybody
he's
was
good, but he's kind of playing up a very
yeah.
modernized version of what he did in Killers of the Flower Moon, in my opinion.
Mm,
Whereas he's just a really good like partner or father like figure kind of. Although in that movie he's a little bit more like insidious, whereas in this movie he's a bit more like genuine, down to
Hmm.
earth. I think that he played this role better than in that movie, but that's just my
Um,
opinion.
Is
the
one
raid
battle.
scene. Yeah, one bar.
Yes.
That raid scene, the ice raid scene, I thought was it was extremely impactful for me.
Hmm.
I thought they did a great job of kind of capturing how some of the violence was incited.
Yeah, this is. I liked this movie. It's not on my list, um, but that is also a hot take.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah, I mean, it was really really well done. Um, I think the only reason it wasn't on my list is just in the middle. I don't know if I was just tired maybe, but I did find myself getting a little bit bored.
Yeah, it was a long film, and it felt that way for sure. Um,
one
yeah.
nap after another, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
Hmm?
number three. Have you ever imagined yourself and like another version of yourself and you just wondered what that was like to like live with someone that looked just like you, did everything with you, and spiritually you just always felt that way? Well, have I got the movie for you? It's called Twinless. It is the best indie comedy of last year. Um, it's you know what? The less I say, the better. But I I recommend this movie because it's funny and very heartfelt, while also giving us this main character who I think might be more unlikable than my number two pick's main character. Um, and that's saying a
I don't know
lot.
how that's possible. If I know what your pick is, I don't know. Dang, that's
There's
saying something.
something that there's something that I need to remember his name. Dennis in Twinless does that is way worse than the number two protagonist.
Okay.
And but yeah, it's a great film. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
I love how much
I'm
effort you put into these intros, because it's like it's a nice game. I keep guessing where you're going with it.
Hmm.
uh
That said, do you want a twin, Kirtana? Like, have you ever felt that way?
I've never felt the overwhelming urge to have a twin. No. Do you want a twin, Kevin?
No, I'm awesome.
Sure, yeah. That's one reason to not have a twin.
My
How
my
about you?
twin would just hold me back.
Like there can only be one, you gotta fight him.
Yeah.
How about you, Rohan?
There's a joke about that in the movie.
Oh,
But yeah.
then I will check it out.
Hmm.
I knew you liked this movie. I did not know you loved it this much. Okay.
Hmm. It helps that I've seen it twice, the same amount as twins. But I just I think it's really cool. And also one last thing is that James Sweeney, who's the director and lead role, is also very insidious for casting Dylan O'Brien opposite him, and they get to make out, which is crazy. So um, yeah, I think it's I don't know. Definitely check it out. It will whatever expectations you have in mind, like they will be subverted when you finally see it. At number
Right.
two,
Mm-hmm.
that protagonist is Marty Supreme. Uh, very fun, but woefully unlikable character. It's my favorite Safdie movie for sure. Um, I loved all of the scenes in this. I loved um, the fact that this is a movie that's set in like what the 50s, 60s, I forget. Um, which has like an 80s soundtrack. It felt very
Hmm.
much like a American classic with a star-studded cast that all are great, except for Gwyneth Paltrow's fake acting. That was all bad. Um, it was just so it's just so magnetic. I love this movie. Um, yeah.
Yeah, this is also on my list. I'll talk more about it later, but yeah, it was an awesome movie and just maybe the best like ensemble this year in terms of performances.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. This is one of the movies that I like. It didn't. I don't even think it got a release here, so I'm waiting.
All right, so I'm gonna save my number one for the end for all of us. So this is table ten. I'm whacking it off to you, Kirtana.
Oh,
Oh,
that doesn't sound right.
right.
I'm passing the ball to you with my paddle for you to get. I'm serving you
Now it sounds like you're suing her.
the.
Yep. No, it's
I said serving, not suing.
no,
Yeah,
no, but
because they,
serving, because like you
you got
serve.
served. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. I get it. Whatever. Please don't. I know I deserve a happy life. Don't hurt me.
All right, I'm just gonna get started. At number five,
Please.
I have a Telugu rom-com. It's called Little Hearts. Now, I actually don't think you guys will care for this film at all. I'll tell you why. Because the only reason it works is because of its dialogue work, and it's like extremely specific to like Hyderabad. It's very self-referential, or like it's very like all the references are super local and everything. It was a very small film. But it did really, really well. Again, it was one of those movies where, like, I think they made it. I think the movie made its money back like 6 times over. It was a fun watch. Like, there's nothing serious about it. It was a sweet rom-com. It happens between two teenagers. Both of them fail their. So here, when you have to join, like, when you have to enter like engineering college, everybody takes like a standardized entrance examination. Um, and it's like millions and millions of people, and then there's like very limited seats, so it's extremely competitive. This film, it happens in like a um, in like a private tuition center where like people go there to prep for these exams. Um, it's a fun, sweet romance. Um, at number four, I have this film called Khoya Paya. It's a Hindi film, and I watched it at like IFFI this year, which is a film festival in Goa. I'm very sure I mentioned this to you guys before because I thought it was one of the most impactful films I saw this year. I really do hope it gets a wider release. But basically, every several years, there's this very, I guess it's like an auspicious, like religious event that happens. It's called the Mahakumbh, and like people from all over the globe go to Allahabad and they pray. So this story is set against that backdrop. But basically, this 80-year-old woman with dementia, like one of her last wishes is to go there and pray for one last time. Her son is not a very nice guy, and she finally convinces him to take her, but he abandons her there. And he just like leaves this woman with dementia with like I don't know millions of like strangers. And the story is about how she kind of finds her way back to him and like how like her experience after he leaves essentially makes up the heart of the film. Um, it was absolutely excellent. I loved every second of it. I thoroughly recommend it. Again, I just hope that they get a wide release. Um, at number three, I have another film that I was raving about earlier. It's called Bad Girl. It was also a Tamil film. It's a coming of age story. Same thing, the director put out the teaser. The teaser did really well. I really enjoyed it because after a very long time, I just saw a film that was unapologetic about just like womanhood and like the flaws of being like a woman. Because have you guys heard of the goddess or whore complex?
No.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it's basically women broadly in society are classified either as goddesses or whores, especially in sexist societies, where basically
Okay.
you could either be this perfect person or you're a whore. And I think this film did a good job of like trying to break that. Um, so that's what I had at number three. Number two, I had One Bottle After Another. Um, I think, yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was so relevant. I think my only sore spot in the film was DiCaprio's performance. I think other than that, I enjoyed everything about it. Um, it's also just, you know what? It could also be the fact that he chose to give us all those close-ups of DiCaprio just panting, and it was just unpleasant to look at. I think that was one of the reasons I was turned off by it. But yeah.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch this movie because I don't know what it is that I just find boring. But when I think about this movie, literally everything about it is positive.
Yeah.
Whether it's the performances, the dialogue, and I think of individual scenes and I'm like, yeah, that was hilarious or that was really well done.
Hmm.
It's just I don't know why. I was just a little bit bored,
Yeah.
but yeah, I gotta rewatch this.
See, I felt that way about like Licorice Pizza,
Mm.
which came before this. I think that movie was kind of um that it hasn't aged well, and I'm not even the biggest PTA fan. But I really did. I don't know. I felt like very engaged this one. It is like I think it's the longest of the movies that I've seen from 2025. So it is a bit of a commitment, but it's really, I don't know. I think the commitment was worth it. Um, what was Alana? I don't know if you guys know the actress, but it's like Alana Haim from the band Haim. Um, she's in the movie and she's in the grocery
Yeah.
store. Why did she go out in public when she's wanted? Like, what were you doing, girl? Anyway, that was all I had to say.
I think a very accurate way of describing this film was uncomfortable. Because at every moment, at every turn, I was just at the edge of my seat, and it was just, what the fuck are you doing? And I think that's where the film succeeded. But it also lost a ton of money. So, what do we know?
Mm.
I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of Transformers movies that made a ton of money.
True.
Doesn't really speak about
Also true. Yeah.
quality.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was at my number two, and I'm gonna pass it to you, Roman, before we go into our number one.
All right. So my number five, it's Weapons. This was my favorite horror movie of the year. Um, yeah, I think we talked about it. It's just super fun, super. It is super creepy, but it's not like. Eh, it's not like a lot of horror movies where I feel like it relies on jump scares. Um,
Hmm.
but it's also not like it also doesn't feel like a fully um like a Robert Eggers movie either, where it's like super heavily stylized. It feels somewhere in the middle of like kind of the mainstream, but also very, very unique. Um, and I think that blend, it just super, it just works. It's super fun. And there's been a lot of interpretations. I think I've subscribed to one of them. Uh, but even if you don't get the symbolism, I think it's still a great movie with great performances, and a good emotional stakes for the characters also. Besides just the basic, um, I'm being I'm being haunted, and how am I going to survive?
Hmm. It's such a wonderful original movie, and I'm just so glad that we like. There's just still movies that can like surprise the heck out of me, and that's what this did.
All right, my number four. Uh, this is a movie that I don't know if it's kind of cheating to have this on this list because I've seen people say it's officially 2023. But then I think 2025 was when it actually became more accessible to watch. And even if you
Hmm.
look online, all of most of the critics' reviews or like intro or promotion with the cast has all been from 2025. So I'm going to count it as 2025. And that is The Queen of My Dreams, um, which is about um, it's about a lesbian college student, and uh, she gets a call that her dad in Pakistan has passed away, and she has to rush over to attend his funeral. Um, and of course she's closeted, so she's dealing with that, and it's also telling the story of her mother, who was actually played by the same actress, and how she um, how she became who she was when, as a child, she was pretty similar and considered rebellious, for lack of a better word. Um, yeah, awesome movie. I didn't love the ending. I feel like it does the indie that a lot of indie, especially like Indian movies do, where they kind of just end and you're like, wait, I feel like the whole third act is missing.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
I feel like that is a trend in a lot of indie uh, Indian movies, and I know this takes place in Pakistan, but it is mostly, I believe, shot in India, and a lot of the production was done by an Indian. It's technically a Canadian movie,
Right.
but a lot of the actors are Indian. So,
Mhm.
um, so yeah, there's that, and then there's also this one thing because they have the mom when she's like the mom age, and they have the daughter who in the flashbacks plays the mom, but they have the same actor for the dad, in both like in present day and in the past.
He just like
And
doesn't age.
yeah, in fairness, the guy who plays the dad is only like 3 or 4 years older than the girl who plays the daughter, but then he's way younger than the actual actress who plays the mom. So, but it was just odd that it's the same guy. But
Hmm.
Who knows if it was a creative choice or a budget choice?
yeah,
Just say.
um, number three, the best animated movie of the year, K-pop Demon Hunters. There's been there's been a lot about this movie where, especially people who I think saw it way before the hype, because I've heard some people say they're like, yeah, it's good. It wasn't anything revolutionary, um,
Mhm.
and I acknowledge that. I think I think the story is pretty simple. I think the animation is it's fine, but I feel like I can tell that this does feel like a straight to streaming budget versus a theatrical budget.
Hmm.
The songs, I will say, are amazing, and my yet another hot take, I like what it sounds like better than Golden. Uh, that's my favorite song in the album.
Yeah,
But
that's fair.
I think the reason why I have this movie on the list is, well, one, I love it, but also this is like this feels like this year's, in 2023, the movies you think of are like Barbie and Oppenheimer, because Barbenheimer was a phenomenon. I feel like K-pop Demon Hunters was kind of a phenomenon, and I will always associate 2025 with K-pop
Mm.
Demon Hunters.
Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I haven't watched it, so it's interesting you called it a phenomenon.
It kind of was though.
Yeah, yeah.
It,
No, but
We
it's
just kind of like all had the phenomenon without you. You were kind of like out that day.
no, I just thought it was interesting because like I see that all the time here. Like there's films that people are like waiting on for months for the release and like there's so much conversation about it, but like people barely hear about it like outside the country. So it's really interesting how that
Mhm.
works.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the reason why it's something that didn't it wasn't anticipated, and it just kind of dropped,
Right.
and just it built a lot of momentum. It became the number one viewed thing in Netflix history,
Wow.
show or movie, I believe. And then they released the movie in theaters, um,
Hmm. Oh,
like
because
six
of the
months
response.
later. Yeah, like 6 months later, and it was number one at the box office that weekend.
Very cool. I mean, I'll check it out. I'm not opposed to checking it out. Yeah, it just happened
Yeah,
to
well,
be.
that's why I say it was a phenomenon. It's just like something that you don't really expect to be like that.
Right. Yeah, that's
Our friend Apollo does not like this movie.
Oh,
I
damn.
don't know if you knew that,
I
but
did not.
I think it doesn't make my it made my honorable mentions because honestly, it probably was the best animated movie of the year in my opinion. But last year, my favorite movie was Look Back, and like for me, no offense, but Look Back kind of clears K-pop Demon Hunters in 60 minutes, whereas that movie has like an hour and a half or something.
Okay, but
But
like 40 minutes are just the music.
that's true. I'm not saying this to diss K-pop Demon Hunters. I think it's a good movie. But I don't know. It is a phenomenon, but it's also being used in the AI slop YouTube tool, so I will forever hate it for that reason. So, but no, I really enjoyed the movie too. It's got some great action and musical scenes, and the little tiger guy is so cute.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Always
What's
stealing
his
the.
name again? It's like Derp Face or something.
I can't remember his name, but I know that the bird always steals his hat. So,
Yeah.
um, all right. Number two is it's a nice Indian boy.
Oh,
Yeah, this movie when I first saw the trailers, uh, I was like, this kind of looks very bland and just like I expect it to be another movie.
Cookie
Can you
does
hear
not
that?
like your pick.
yeah.
I expect it to be like another Bros almost. Um, but it wasn't. It was actually very I liked everything about it. Even for some reason, the cinematography that looked ugly in the trailers looked
Yeah.
beautiful in the actual movie. The acting was was great. Um, I love the pacing. I love the tone, and I think this movie is about a guy who is he's Indian and he's gay. He's in a relationship, but with his parents, he's at like this weird stage where he's out, but he's not. But everyone's kind of like, okay, we're not going to talk about it. So it's like he's not really out, and I think even though he is kind of out, I said this when we did our episode, but I think this movie captures that experience better than any other movie I've seen.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah, that's why this is my number two.
I thought it was a great film. Um,
You
I
should
think
watch the episode on it.
My number one is Marty Supreme. Uh,
Woo! I mean,
I
let's
think
go.
I talked about how Running Man was one of the best experiences that I had. Just like the visceral feeling that I got from watching the movie. Um, Marty Supreme was probably the number one experience, which maybe that's a bad thing because it's like a very stressful movie. Uh, but I mean, you're just watching Marty with Timothy Chalamet, who I think was the best performance of the year. Just constantly make the worst decision after the worst decision, and he always keeps getting himself into trouble. And when you think, oh, he's got it figured out, he can do it now, it's just another bad decision. And there is there's almost like a car crash element where it's like you're like, I don't want to be watching this, but I can't stop watching it because he is he's absolutely terrible. But somehow he's still captivating enough for you to continue to follow.
It's a great film. I mean, it's why it's my number two. It's just so electric. Um, Freaking Mr. Wonderful, is it? Which is
Did
so
you?
hilarious.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
Did I
So.
what?
I was gonna say this is not really a spoiler, Kirtana, because this has not happened. But did you hear about the reveal that Kevin O'Leary was going to be revealed as an actual vampire? Uh,
No.
that was the original ending, and apparently when Josh Safdie submitted it to A24, um, the they literally laughed because they thought he was just trolling them.
I mean, to be fair, Kevin O'Leary definitely has the energy of a bloodsucking.
Yeah.
person like that. I can see
Yeah.
that. Yeah. See,
Um,
Cookie agrees.
Well, more quickly on that line before we get to your number. I was actually watching a Shark Tank YouTube video where he literally called himself a vampire. So that man is obsessed with vampires.
Don't own it, dude. Like I hate it when like you say something that's clearly meant to be an insult, and then they're like, "Yo, like that's just my personality," and I'm like, "Just you're ruining it." Like, don't. Yeah. But cool, Marty Supreme. You watched that movie, and then you texted me, and you were like, "This is the movie of the year." So I kind of had a feeling it was gonna come up.
I don't know if you would like it, but
Right. No, I'm gonna watch it anyway because I've been like in touch with all the material that's been coming out.
I think you would,
yeah.
Kirchner. I believe in you. I believe you have good taste.
Okay. That's a
No, I'm
that's a
just saying
that's a
because
big difference between I don't think
yeah,
you'll enjoy this movie versus like I think your taste is flawed. Okay then.
yeah. The
I
main
just
character
said
is
your
like the
taste was
most.
good. Why are you mad?
Uh, anyway, my favorite movie of the year was Sinners. I told you that it was coming up. I thought it was absolutely incredible. The other scene that I wanted to mention was when they're outside and the vampires are like basically like there to get them. I think a trope that a lot of horror movies do is they'll turn to prayer as the last most powerful like arrow in the quiver. And they start praying and the vampires just join them. And I
Hmm.
had this moment of like the pit in my stomach just felt so much deeper because I was like, what are they going to do now? Like it's because you expect that that's the thing that's going to work because that's what this film kind of sets it up to be also. And when I saw that like that wasn't going to work, I was like, oh shit, like they've truly written themselves like into a wall. Yeah, it was an incredible film. I hope it does well come award season.
I hope so too. It's so great. I can't sing the praises of this movie any more than I already have. No pun intended. But yeah,
Yeah, I really hope. I mean, Ryan Coogler would be my choice for best director.
Yeah. I think even when I put up my letterbox review, I was like, best cinematography, best music direction, best director. So, on to you,
yeah.
Kevin.
It's just me.
Uh-huh.
I guess I have no other choice
I knew it.
but to put this as my number one um, film of the year. Uh, Park Chan Wook is so good. I don't care that he got kicked out of the WGA. um, it's if he had to write this to get kicked out, that's awesome to me. Um, just so memorable, so funny. I think he's like the modern Hitchcock to me, and he makes some of the most zany films that feel so inspired by like my favorite movies that made this one just so great. I debate on if this is my favorite from him or not. Um, I still love The Handmaiden. I still love Old Boy. Um, Decision Leaves great. It's not my favorite, but it is really good. I think this was a better follow up to it though, and something about just the oh my gosh. I mean, I think about something like the transitions in this movie,
Oh
the
yeah,
cinematography in it. Um, the performances are great. I mean, I know I say a lot of the same thing, but for this movie, it feels like on a completely different level. Like it's just so good. Um,
yep.
and yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah, I think that is the most well shot and most well edited movie of the year, at least from what I've seen.
I love that.
With that, we come to the end of our top 10. Um, I quite enjoyed like putting this together.
Hmm.
I was saying I had a rough time choosing because, like I said, like in comparison to last year, I feel like this year, the stuff I saw wasn't like it didn't really like knock it out of the park for me. But it's
Yeah.
still nice to kind of look back and evaluate like what you watched and what worked and what didn't work.
Hmm. With that said, what was the worst movie you guys watched this year?
That is a
Where do
good
I even
question.
start? Because I feel like I watched a lot of terrible movies this year. I'm just gonna see what I'm on. I'll tell you, my biggest disappointment for the year was this film called Thug Life. Um, it came
Okay.
from a director that I quite like. The cast was people I quite liked, and when I just like the movie was just so phenomenally bad. Um, it's it's disappointing because I was first of all, I was going to drive to San Diego to watch it with my friends. Like that's how much I was
Mm-hmm.
anticipating this. Like I wanted to watch it with community and everything. And then what, like the weekend that I was supposed to go, I wasn't able to travel, and then I just ended up watching it myself. But it was just the most flatly written screen. I don't even like. I don't know whether they even had a finished draft because it didn't feel like they did. It was just flat characters, flat plot. It was just all around just such a bad film. Yeah,
I see.
that was my worst one of the year.
I think I'm pretty lucky. I didn't watch a ton of movies that I hated this year. Um, at least movies that came out this year. I'm not sure about other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if I had to choose a worst, I would say it was Thursday Murder Club. Um, it
Ooh.
wasn't like terrible or anything like that. I just thought it was very just bland and not like it wasn't interesting enough for
Mm-hmm.
me.
Um, there was
So,
also, sorry,
oh,
sorry,
I
go ahead.
was
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
so
No.
I saw a Minecraft movie with half-finished animation, and somehow War of the Worlds is worse than that.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot about War of the Worlds.
No, flip it over, flip it over. He's gonna no. And then Ice Cube just does this the whole movie. He's like, that's, that's his acting. It's so
Wasn't there wasn't there a moment where they have to like pay some guy, but then that guy won't accept any like
he only
cash
accepts like a
transfer or
a
Venmo because
Venmo.
he's like
It's
off the grid.
it's all
But
advertising.
yeah, but he's like off the grid and he says he won't accept anything electronic. And then they give him an Amazon gift card and he's like, cool.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah.
okay.
And they use an Amazon drone to
Oh yeah.
send a flash drive to someone. It's like all about how Amazon will save us during the apocalypse, and the government is out to hate us and kill us all.
I'm just
That's
taking
literally
a
what it's about.
I'm just taking a wild guess here. Did this is this on Amazon Prime now for me to watch?
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh, damn. That sounds can you imagine like having enough money to just make a movie to just promote your brand? Kind of crazy.
It really is like the most commercialized movie I've ever seen. Like it was non-stop ads. Um
Yeah.
and
It's
side
just
note,
Amazon
most
propaganda.
disappointing. Oh yeah, it is just Amazon propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Um Most disappointing movie was I Know What You Did Last Summer remake. I won't say more, but it sucked. I was
Okay.
so disappointed.
Mentioned a disappointing movie. I don't really have anything that was like all that disappointing. I feel like everything kind of ended up where I expected it to be.
Mm.
If you want to watch a bad film, you should watch Nadanya on Netflix. If that's what you're feeling like today, that's what you should watch.
I think you
I'm
should
good.
watch the
Life's
good
too
movies
short
that
to
we
watch bad
recommended
movies.
instead.
I agree.
Is the top 10 films of 2025. Rohan said earlier that you shouldn't judge us for our opinions. I actually disagree. Judge me because I actually have the best list. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I'm Kevin. That's Rohan and Kirtana. And stay tuned next time for another great episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.